before we let you go, it's now, I believe it's 16 games, 16 points for Jonathan Huberdeu. They're now calling it the Lindholm for Kuzmenko and Huberdeu trade because it's brought him to life over the last few games. I know you know the player. Just thoughts on why it's taken this long, how it's come around, because he's contributing, which for a long time you needed a search committee to find him.
Yeah, I don't have any words to explain how this has happened, how the wheels fell off, how sort of despondent this situation has been. But I also don't I think regardless of what anyone thinks about the contract, there's still something there. You don't score 100 and some points and set an NHL record for most points by a left winger in NHL history. That doesn't happen by accident. And I think part of it has been a real chemistry thing. I think part of it has been this guy has just been in his own way and in his own head. I think part of it has been at times an opportunity thing. I'm not making excuses for anyone. He hasn't played anywhere near up to snuff, not even close, and not, in the ballpark of his commensurate to his pay. But I also think there's still at some point runway here to figure it out. And whether it's Kuzmenko, who's, the fuel to prime him and jumpstart this thing, or whether it's someone else, it's always going to be in the Calgary Flames' best interest to continue to try and find solutions, given that this is year one of an 8-year deal.
Ryan, there's little things that I can do that I know will engage, and I knew that the Lindholm for Kuzmenko and Huberdeu trade would
That's lovely. I do like it. It's
yeah,
fun.
I knew it would. Ryan's
slow. Better.
He's slow to come around on Huberdeu. He kind of scoffed.
He's been better. He's been better. It's 3 games with Kuzmenko, right? Like it's the smallest of samples, but God, like you could see it. It's like, he's thinking the game on the same wavelength as Kuzmenko, and he clearly, for whatever reason, wasn't with Lindholm. It's a nice thing to see.
I think the bottom line is it'd be easy to look at this situation and say, look at this guy, filthy rich. He's going to end with $130 million or whatever it is in his career. But if you scratch away at that, like, he's been a miserable guy. This is as tough a spot that I think any player can find themselves in if they have any pride. They want to play better. He wants results. And I think in some ways has been his own worst enemy, as I mentioned. That
is there any chance that this is because we're a talk show, we get to talk and say stupid things, but is there any blame to be put on Lindholm? He was a negative prick too, if you want my honest opinion. I don't think he was out there giving it 100. I think when his buddies left a year and a half ago, he was ready to pack up and leave then. You can still say he's professional. He still showed it. I'm not saying he went from 100 to 0 in work ethic, but he certainly wasn't maintaining 100%. Is there any reason to think that Lindholm was a bit of the issue or a big part of the issue?
Look, you guys are closer to it than I am. My answer to that would be, I think we've learned 2 things. One, Lindholm is not a driver. He's a passenger. And 2, Jonathan Huberdeu is not a driver. He's a passenger. When you put 2 passengers together, who's getting them to where
blame who you want?
Yeah.
Well, and then think about the other one. It's like you roll in Sharangovich and Dubé and all these other non-drivers through that line. I mean, they were all miscast, right?
What do we have? The real answer is who was the driver in Florida? Barkov.
Well, but he didn't play on Barkov's line. That's what was so weird about it. He played mostly with Duclair and Sam Bennett of all people.
Okay, but who was the driver in Calgary? Matthew Tkachuk.
Well, they had a couple potentially, yeah. Ian Gaudreau.
Or then you could go back to before that when he played with Monahan and Gaudreau.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long-form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.com. Appreciate you watching.